Hi guys and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. And Henry Cavill is going around on his press tour for the new Netflix film Enola Holmes, which I've yet to watch, and I'll do a review about it, guys, when I get the chance to sit down and actually watch the film. So definitely keep an eye out for that on the channel. But of course, a lot of questions about Superman because he is Superman. A lot of questions about the Snyder Cut because that is coming in 2021. And people want to know, is Henry Cavill going to come back for more Superman content after the Snyder Cut? What's going on with the Snyder Cut? And he's done a lot of interviews, and we've actually gotten a lot of information about him. Now, a few days ago, if you remember, the Hollywood Reporter reported that additional photography was taking place in October for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Ben Affleck would all return to do additional scenes for the film. But Henry Cavill was doing an interview with Stephen Weintraub, Frosty Weintraub, which Collider. Henry was asked the question, so are you coming back for additional photography? Are you going to shoot more scenes? And Henry basically said no. Now, you have to take into account a lot of these interviews took place before the announcement came out through the Hollywood Reporter. And guys, Henry Cavill is more or less a politician when it comes to him talking about movies and especially Superman. Look, he whatever his agents say, Danny Garcia, whatever he's told, he usually says, and he keeps things close to the chest. Remember, he even said the Snyder Cut didn't exist back in November while doing press for The Witcher. So you can't always believe what Henry Cavill is saying. He doesn't really comment on things unless they're fully confirmed. And again, he said that he's not coming back, but then a report says that they are going back. So we'll just have to wait and see if that is true. And then Collider made these big articles about Henry Cavill not coming back for additional photography for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But guys, you have to remember that Henry Cavill doesn't always tell us what we want to hear. He always talks that way, so it's very hard to believe him. And then Collider, remember, haven't been the biggest advocates over the years for the Snyder Cut, so they would love something like this, that no additional photography is taking place for Zack Snyder's Justice League or Henry Cavill's not coming back. They would love these kind of stories because, guys, back then they weren't really into Zack Snyder's version of these characters in the world that he was building. They were very against it. I remember watching the Collider shows they had on YouTube, and it was kind of hard to watch sometimes because for me, they were very biased towards Marvel and didn't give a DC much kind of praise. So we'll have to wait and see. But like Henry saying this doesn't make me fully believe him, if you can understand what I'm saying. This is what he had to say to Collider. Not shooting anything additional. No, it's all stuff that has been already done. Obviously, I don't know how things are going to evolve and change and adapt depending on now a different length of a movie and whatever may happen in post-production. Whatever lessons may be learned from what it is. 4 years since Justice League came out. 4 years worth of fan reaction. For me, I'm now just watching the party. So he never really disregards the Josh Whedon cut of Justice League. He never really disregards what Josh Whedon and Jeff Johns and what they did. He's not going to throw anyone under the bus, and he probably still would talk good about that experience and that film, Justice League 2017. And I kind of agree to him to an extent, because there probably is a fan base for that film that did like that version of the film, especially young children. So for him to come out and say that it's absolutely terrible and stuff wouldn't be a real Superman-like thing to do, if you know, that kind of way. So he's never going to throw that film under the bus. He did agree that it didn't maybe turn out the best that it could have, but again, he's not going to bring any negativity to the role of Superman. But these quotes here, he's looking forward to seeing how the film actually comes out and how it's going to be made. Now, Henry Cavill did a lot of other interviews and had a lot to say about the Snyder Cut and gave Zack Snyder a lot of praise. This is what he had to say. Zack's attention to detail, his visual talent is extraordinary. The way he tells his stories, you see it through his visuals. He's such an exceptional crafter of moments. Love him or hate him, everyone talks about him. And that's true. Everyone talks about Zack Snyder, even though it's negative sometimes. They can't stop talking about Zack Snyder and the way that he makes films. And this is a brilliant quote from Henry Cavill. Got to do with Zack Snyder and what he's really good at it. His visual storytelling is remarkable. It really is. You look at his animated film, Legends of the Guardians, I think it's called. Visually, absolutely outstanding. Then you look at Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. He really does have an eye with the camera. And Henry Cavill, he has never thrown Zack Snyder under the bus. He has never said anything really negative about him. Maybe some fans don't think that he talks enough about him and give him enough praise, because without Zack Snyder, he wouldn't have been cast. as Superman, probably wouldn't have the career that he has now, but I'm sure that love is there, and he showed up on the announcement stream on Vero at that time, so them two do have a good relationship, even though people will make you believe they don't. I got all this stuff from the Zack Snyder Bible Twitter page. Give them a follow, very good page. The movies that he makes, I've leaned a lot from his version of storytelling in the sense that he relies on those moments very, very much, and he's so good at it. Zack's visuals are second to none, man. And he appreciates Zack Snyder's filmmaking style. Maybe even if he doesn't agree with it the whole time, like many people, they don't agree with what Zack Snyder, the way he makes films. But Henry respects what Zack Snyder does. When many bloggers, many critics don't respect Zack Snyder, when he deserves the respect, he's a good guy, and people love working with him. And this is kind of a conversation Henry Cavill had with Josh Horowitz. Did you shoot a 4-hour movie? Henry Cavill says, I mean, I didn't, what happened to my character. And they laugh together. That's, of course, about the Josh Whedon cut. And then Josh goes, was the script you saw a 250-page script, though? And Henry Cavill says, I mean, everything that he shot, he is what he's using. So, look, like, Henry Cavill was not supposed to be in the entire Justice League film. His character died in Batman vs Superman, and that's where they kind of laugh also, because he's not in the entire film. He was never meant to be. He wasn't even in the marketing. Now, I don't know if that was a Zack Snyder choice or a WB choice. I'm not too sure, but he was never in the marketing back in 2017. Very little of it. Very, very little. But it shows you that Henry, he never gives us too much to go with. He always talks like a politician. He goes, I mean, everything that he's shot is what he's using. So, how long was the script that Henry originally read? He still won't answer the question. So, Henry is a difficult guy to deal with in interviews, but still love him. He's our Superman. And then he goes, of course, there are certain things that you can add. Let's talk about the opening of the movie, the invasion of Earth, and the gods defending the Earth, etc. Yeah, okay, that's all CGI apart from a few characters. And so there's stuff there that you can build in post. That's him talking about how much different the film would be from the theatrical film, and of course the cost and stuff. And here kind of gives away that the opening scene of the original film back in 2017 was supposed to be that invasion of Earth, the gods trying to protect Earth. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the opening scene to Zack Snyder's Justice, because remember, guys, the film, if it came out in 2017, was going to be compromised. This one, there's no compromise, okay? Because the film has a new format now. It's longer. So this really is Zack Snyder's uncut vision of the film. So do I think the invasion of the Earth will still be the opening? I do, in a way. Very much like Batman vs Superman had the opening of Bruce's death, then Metropolis. That was all kind of an opening scene. I think it will be very similar to that in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But let's wait and see. I can't wait to see the invasion of Earth. He said you can spend $600 million on making CGI stuff, and so yes, I'd say there's definitely a 4.5-hour movie there. It's in the can, plus the stuff we're gonna craft in post. Now, I'm just so excited to see his vision realized. I think it's important that the vision, comes to life by the director. But that even proves there that in post they're gonna add more to this film. And I fully believe additional photography will happen, and Henry kind of gives a hint at that here in post now, and he says you can make a 4-hour film, just add CGI everywhere, which is kind of true also. That the movie is realized, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. It's a storyteller, a filmmaker's right to have their vision realized, especially. He's got the advantage of hindsight now, so it's going to be even better. I just want to see a good movie, a series of good movies. That's him talking about the episodic form that is happening, and also it is Zack Snyder's vision. We have to be happy for the man. WB hired Zack Snyder to do a job, and that was direct Justice League. They got involved, they fucked shit up, and things didn't go the way they were supposed to. Now he's back, he's ready to make this film the way he wanted. His entire vision is coming to light in 2021, and I can't wait. And Henry Cavill, he does talk like a politician, but he talks like a good politician in terms of how he approaches Zack Snyder's style of filmmaking, even though it is controversial to an extent, and Henry doesn't want to give too much away about anything. We still don't know if additional photography is happening or not, because Zack hasn't confirmed it. Now, this was true reality. Cavill will again be seen as Superman in the famed Snyder cut of Justice League. which is being released in 4-episode mini-series on HBO Max next year, with The Hollywood Reporter even reporting that most of the main cast, including Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck's Batman, Cavill's Superman, will be filming reshoots from next month, but Cavill pours cold water on this. They're doing their own thing out there, putting the movie together from the footage they shot. He says, when I ask if Snyder has been in touch, I've not been in comms with them about it. Though he didn't take part in any reshoots, other reports that surfaced that just before we spoke suggested Cavill had recently signed a new 3-film deal with Warner Brothers to reprise his Superman role after Cavill himself pitched a new storyline. Is there any truth to the rumours? And Cavill says, well, I think it's important that this should be about Enola Holmes, he says, which you will notice isn't exactly a no, and is despite the fact Cavill has been more than willing to discuss subjects such as Warhammer figures, gaming PCs, The Witcher, baking, and the Snyder cut of Justice League. So I wonder, is he actually signed on for a 3-film deal? Is that cameos? Is that a Man of Steel sequel? My predictions, guys, as you've always known, is that he will appear in some capacity in either the Shazam or Black Adam films, which eventually will lead to Black Adam versus Shazam. They both have the same agent, The Rock and Henry Cavill. And I think The Rock would market the shit out of The Rock versus Superman. The Rock versus Superman, I think, would be an unbelievable marketing plea from them and would actually make a lot of box office. That's the route I think they're going down in the future. Maybe it might show up in Flashpoint, but we'll have to wait and see. But as always with Henry Cavill, he says a lot, but you never find out too much. A lot of praise there for Zack Snyder, a lot of talk about the Snyder Cut and what we could see, especially that opening scene with the defense of Earth, the gods trying to stop Darkseid and the parademons, which will be awesome to see in Zack Snyder's true vision. Guys, what do you think of Henry Cavill's comments, especially about no additional photography for him? Remember, these interviews did happen before the Hollywood Reporter article did come out, but for me that Hollywood article was very centered on the Ray Fisher situation and wasn't really vocal on the additional photography, which is going to take less than a week. They said it focused more on what was going on between Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers, even getting it wrong that he is fighting with Warner Media. So that article, for me, after reading it a couple of more times, has me kind of skeptical about, is it actually happening? Is there additional photography? Because Zack Snyder hasn't confirmed anything. But we'll have to wait and see, guys. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for giving it a watch. Give a like, comment, subscribe. Come follow me on all the social medias. We'll talk about the one thing we love, which is movies. Come talk to me, guys. I will always respond. I love engaging with you. And until next time, guys, Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out in 2021. Henry Cavill will return. Will he return for more? We'll have to wait and see.